Well, won't I feel stupid if Giannis doesn't demand a trade? Because I pretty much guaranteed that it will happen up until now. But we are getting some very concerning reports. So Giannis is on vacation in Brazil. He paid to have an old court refurbished, and to break it in, he almost broke his leg. Thankfully, he's okay. But after, Giannis said to the media, yeah, I'm watching the Pacers and Thunder. The finals are different. I hope to be back soon with the Bucks. What? Back with the Bucks? Immediately, it was like, LMFAO told you, stupid. He wasn't going anywhere. Bucks fans been trying to tell you, oh, it's a victory lap in Milwaukee. But hold on. What the hell is Coast to Coast Brazil? And why did no one else get this quote? You're telling me Coast to Coast Brazil is where Giannis chose to make this big announcement, huh? And I can't find anywhere of the actual video of Giannis saying this. You can find him talking about the new basketball court for kids.
Growing up, I played in a public court myself.
But nothing about returning with the Bucks. Don't you think this clip would be everywhere? I'm not saying that he didn't say these words, but how did he say it? I want to hear it. Like, was it like a super offhand thing? Or was it this big proclamation like, I'm staying with the Bucks? I would bet anything this was not meant to be the statement about his future that Bucks fans hope it is. If it was, Giannis would have made this announcement with someone other than Coast to Coast Brazil, okay? I can think of about a million other places where Giannis would want to announce his future. But at the same time, the media is backing off their reports lately. First, Brian Windhorst said, right now there is no Giannis Antetokounmpo trade market. There is no Giannis trade discussions. He has not asked for it. The Bucks are not looking to trade him. Then Jake Fisher said, confidence about a trade has been replaced with skepticism. There is not a lot of belief right now. The expectation is that NBA execs will believe it when they see it. Oh, but the number one reporter, Shams Charania, he is the one who really kicked off all this mess when he said, for the first time, Giannis is open-minded about leaving the Bucks. And now Giannis is straight trolling Shams, saying, who misses Woj? But now, he is backpedaling like hell.
There's a level of skepticism. Does he really go through with it? There's a difference between being open-minded and, from what I'm told, exploring other options and asking for a trade. He's in the process of figuring out exactly what he wants.
Ha! Yeah, so he's like, I never said he was leaving. He's exploring his options. Okay, there's a big difference. Oh, there's a big difference. Why weren't you saying that a few weeks ago? Well, Chris Haynes had teased, I don't know if you remember this, a little Giannis Bucks meeting a few weeks ago, and he sort of made it sound like we will have a decision. But that never came, so it was weird. And then Giannis goes on this vacation, has this little Brazil comment. Now people don't know what to think. So I say the best report has come from plugged-in Zach Lowe. Well respected by NBA front offices, he said nobody knows anything. If people tell you Giannis is staying, they don't know. People tell you he's leaving, they don't know. I don't think anything's been decided or close to decided. And Shams says it could stretch until August. So we've got a ways to go. But one thing we know for sure is when the Bucks do speak with Giannis, their pitch will probably be, Giannis, Dame is injured all next year. We probably won't have a shot. But if you stay through a gap year, we can retool, then make a run for that second championship. And why not? A gap year happens all the time. We saw the Spurs do a gap year, get Tim Duncan, or the Warriors gap years for Jonathan Kuminga and the unfortunate number 2 pick. But, little problem here. The Bucks don't have any draft picks. What are you gonna do with a gap year? So if the Bucks were honest, they would say, hey Giannis, we're not gonna be competitive for like at least 3 more seasons. Are you ready for that? But we promise, if you stay, we will take another run at title number 2 in your mid to late 30s. And we know that Giannis values loyalty. It would be a pretty cool legacy to play for one team and win a title with them in your late 20s, then your late 30s. Climb that mountain twice with the same franchise. I mean, the whole reason that he might leave was constant quotes like, I don't want to be 20 years on the same team and don't win another championship. Do you know how hard it must be to be a consistent top 3 player in the world and have little to no chance at winning a title every year? I think a big reason Giannis hasn't asked out is where he might end up. I mean, the realistic landing spots right now are the Raptors, Knicks, and Nets in the East. West frontrunners are like the Spurs and Rockets. Okay, not exactly a guaranteed championship there. And the last thing he wants is to be Dame. No offense. But a brand built on loyalty which he then ruins for basically no reason. So if the Bucks can convince him, they can win another championship there. Maybe he stays. But how is that even possible? Remember, the Bucks don't control any of their first round picks till 2031. They don't even control second round picks after this year till 31. Plus, have you seen the current roster? They are losing a lot of guys from last year's team to free agency. And by the way, that squad wasn't that great anyway, right? I mean, Dame's out all season. The one star from Milwaukee's championship, Brook Lopez, who is 37 years old. Kyle Kuzma, disappointing after the trade, and no elite young talent. And on top of all that, despite the subpar roster, the Bucks are still over the salary cap next year. So all they have outside of their own free agents is the mid-level exception to add talent. But despite that, there could be a wild plan for the future. So step one comes on draft night. What if the Rockets traded their pick for the Bucks' 2032 first? This is similar to what the Wolves did last year. They dealt a late first in a swap to the Spurs for their number 8 pick and Rob Dillingham. The Bucks could then get Houston's number 10. Then, next year, the Pelicans own Milwaukee's pick swap, but if Nola sucks too, that pick could also be around number 10. So that is back-to-back number 10 picks. 2 chances to get lucky and find a difference maker later in the lottery. And in the past 7 years, I found 2 number 10 picks who became high-level role players. Plenty of guys past number 10, by the way, so it's not crazy. Then the next phase of this long-term plan is cap space. Now, the only player that Milwaukee has on their books 2 years from now is Giannis on a $63 million player option. That means they got as much cap space as any team, summer of 2027. Free agents include Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Donovan Mitchell, and Trae Young, but let's be honest, free agency is not what it used to be, okay? Back in the day, we would track who was going to change teams in the summer. Then stars were like, hey, I could get more money from my current team and then just ask out later. So guys rarely even become a free agent anymore, let alone want to go to Milwaukee. So high-level role players with that cap space: Brandon Ingram, Michael Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Lou Dort, Tyler Hero, DeJounte Murray, Austin Reeves, Aaron Nesmith. So they don't have an obvious path to pair Giannis with a co-star, but maybe they don't have to, because in this current era, depth and chemistry count more than ever. So if the super team is really dead, then maybe the Bucks can build a contender around Giannis eventually. Or maybe he just waits till next year to leave when a better landing spot opens up. But Luka Doncic is on another team, and he is looking slim, which we're pretty used to because he does this every single summer. But maybe this year is different, because dude's got all the motivation in the world to stay in shape. But then, LA needs serious moves around Luka to win a championship.